everybody, welcome to Untitled Chapter. Today I am doing a video on Supernatural Season 5 recap. Okay, a couple of announcements before I start. First of all, I already have Season 1, 2, 3, 4 already up on my channel. Go check them out. If you're one of the few who unfortunately watched Season 3, I have already re-uploaded Season 3 complete with audio. I don't know what happened, you guys, and I'm so sorry that I completely didn't notice that Season 3 had no audio. I apologize. But now it has audio. This one should have audio. I'm going to double check that, make sure. And also, I'm going to let you guys know that the format for these recaps are going to change. So it's no longer going to be each video is going to be a season. It's going to be, each video is going to be 2 seasons in one. So my recaps are definitely going to get shorter, more concise, more straight to the point. Instead of, I'm going to be recapping like each episode. So I'm sorry if you like me recapping each episode. Maybe in the future, maybe a year from now, I'm going to do a full recap, like a better recap, I think, of everything. But for right now, this is what I want to do. I'm trying to get it out before the finale that is this Thursday. So, according to my schedule and everything that I have, I should finish watching the whole thing by Wednesday. Wednesday, like, mid-afternoon. So hopefully that still stays true. Alright, let's just go ahead and get started. And also the final video should be uploaded Thursday. I'm going to try and upload it like either at the latest 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so you guys have more than plenty of time to watch it before the season finale premiere. Alright, let's get to it. First off, I want to do a quick recap about Season 4. Season 4, don't forget, Cass aside, and Sam has opened the Lucifer's cage. Alright, let's do it. So, episodes that you have to watch for Season 5. Episode 1, Episode 10, Episode 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I know that's 7 episodes. I know that's not enough time, but I'm just saying you can either watch this episode or watch this recap. Which do you prefer? Probably the episodes, but which is less time? This video! Shameless plug, I know. But those episodes you have to watch because there's just so much information that goes in them that it's just really hard. Like, it gets referenced for the rest of the series, which is why I suggest watching those particular episodes. Alright. Episode 1. A lot happened. So first of all, Chuck, if you guys remember, Prophet Chuck sends a message to Sam and Dean that there is something to kill Lucifer in their dad's bunker. Sam and Dean go, but turn out to be a trap from Zachariah. Zachariah is trying to get Dean to say yes to the vessel. At that moment, Cass resurrects from the dead. I know, he was dead, but he somehow pops back up, saves Sam and Dean, and also puts Enochian symbols in their bodies. Also, at this moment, we have Lucifer has been looking for a vessel, and he gets his vessel, by the way. And so the thing is, Angel's gonna have multiple vessels, but there's one particular vessel that's specific to yours that gives you at full power. This is definitely an important detail to remember. And then Bobby stabs himself because he's possessed by Meg, and he does it to get Meg out of his body. But by him possessing himself, he makes himself crippled. Yes, Meg is back, ladies and gentlemen. I do not like this Meg. And not because she's evil, but I just don't like the actress who portrays her. Also, did I mention that they got Enochian symbols carved into their bodies, which will prevent angels from tracking them? It's important for the continuity for the rest of the series. Also, okay, episode 2, Sam and Dean fight against, the Horseman War. Cass gets Dean's necklace so he can track God, because that's the one thing that can track God, and then the presence of God will light up. And, which is an important detail to remember. Remember those two things, and especially the necklace. The necklace will definitely be coming up. The Horseman and getting the Horseman's ring is going to come up for the rest of this, season. And then lastly, Sam and Dean separate here. Okay, so then episode 3, Destio kind of starts to be, forming even stronger, and the reason that, that happens is because, you know, Dean and Sam are separated, so now it's Dean and Cass. They're looking for Raphael to look for God. Anyways, that's pretty much all that happens, but what also happens is that Sam learns that he's Lucifer's vessel, but again, he's the vessel that's gonna make Lucifer the strongest, so imagine Dean saying yes to Michael, Sam saying yes to Lucifer, brother against brother, how much more dramatic can that be? Alright, so then episode 4, Zachariah finds Dean, says into the future, shows him what happens in a post-apocalyptic war after the Croton virus is killing everybody, after Sam has said yes to Lucifer in Detroit. Remember that Sam said yes to Lucifer in Detroit. And lastly, Dean has been begging Michael to come back and take his vessel. But this only prompts Dean to pretty much just say, screw it, I want my brother, I'm going to help him out, and that's why it's episode 5, Sam and Dean make up. Alright, then we get episode 6. Episode 6, we meet this demon slash human who was conceived of demon and human named Jesse. He is never going to pop up again. I'm mentioning him solely for one reason only, is because what he is a theme that we're going to definitely be touching upon, and why he doesn't come back is beyond me, because I think he should have come back, especially for season 15. Maybe he will come back. That'd be really cool. I know it's like a very random subject. In case you know you're supernatural like the back of your hand, you will remember him, but if you're like me, you're like, wait, what? And so it's a really cool episode, which is why I suggest go and watch episode 6 if you have time. Episode 7, remember I said Bobby was crippled. He tries to become uncrippled by using a witch's magic. Anyways, that's pretty much it. He fails at this. So he's just upset being crippled. Alright, episode 8, we have the trickster put Sam and Dean into like TV land, forces them to play their roles. Metaphor for them playing their roles with Lucifer and Michael. Turns out the trickster is Gabriel, the archangel, and Dean gets pissed. He's like, yo, get your brothers in check. And he's like, nah, Sam. Episode 9 is a really funny episode. If you have time, go watch it. It's a supernatural convention that Chuck is hosting, and then Becky is invited the brothers, and he's like, why do you invite them? Anyways, it's a funny episode, but pretty much at the end, Becky reveals that in the books, it says that Lilith doesn't have the cold. Remember that? Actually, Bella didn't give the cold to Lilith. She actually gave it to Crowley. Yo, my man's the king of hell, the one, the only. Bae, he is number 2 on my favorite list. Number 1 is Dean, obviously. Anyway, so then that prompts to episode 10, where they go try and get into Crowley's managers to steal the colt. And use Joe, remember Joe and Ellen, Joe, to get the, but anyways, Crowley gives it willingly because he wants Lucifer dead so he can rule hell. Anyways, Joe and Ellen kind of 100% die in this episode. It wasn't as dramatic as now that I think about it, because they weren't prominent characters, so I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, I get why it was dramatic, but I just wish we would have had more Joe and Ellen time than them just killing them off like that. So yeah, they die. They end up shooting Lucifer with the Colt. But it doesn't work because there's only 5 things the cult can't kill in all of existence, and one of them just happens to be Lucifer. Tear. So also Lucifer tells Sam right here and there, he's like, you're gonna say to me, yes to me in Detroit in 6 months. So remember that detail as well. Episode 11, nothing happens. Episode 12, there's this kind of like weird body switching loophole that if someone were to switch bodies with Sam, they could say yes to Lucifer, thus Lucifer having his vessel. They never bring this up again ever, which I think is a loophole they should have definitely explored more, but that's just me. Again, my own thing. Episode 13, Sam and Dean get transported to the past, because the angel Anna wants to stop the apocalypse, and she's gonna do that by killing their parents because she can't find them to kill them to stop the apocalypse, so she's gonna kill their parents, so that way they're never born, the apocalypse never happens. Anyways, that doesn't end up happening. They end up killing Anna, and also Michael the archangel goes into John's body because he says yes, and saves Sam and Dean, and sends them back to the future, and tells Dean he needs to say yes to him. And thus, again, the vessel thing is just like they're reinforcing that plot point. Episode 15, we meet Jodie Mills. She will definitely be coming up again. She's a sheriff of Sioux Falls, where Bobby lives. Another apocalypse thing. People rising from the dead, including Bobby's wife, Karen. Karen was killed by Bobby because she turned into a demon, and he didn't know how to do an exorcism when that happened. That's how he becomes a hunter, because of Karen. I know I forgot to mention that at some point, but I'm just letting you guys know that now. They end up having to kill everyone who got back to life because they end up, like, Lucifer ends up turning people. That's pretty much it. Episode 16. Okay, so episode 16, Sam and Dean get killed by 2 hunters. And they get killed because Sam opens the gates to hell, and Sam lets out Lucifer from this cage, and they don't want Dean to hunt them down, so they kill Dean too. Anyway, Zechariah is gonna try and, like, revive Sam and Dean, but the cat's like, before he revives you, I need you guys to go find Joshua. Joshua is the closest one to God, and he's gonna be able to contact and figure out what God's plan is, because God resurrected me. What's his master plan? They go, they have to, like, kind of sneak through hell. We see Ash again. We see Pamela again. Pamela tells Dean, look, you should just let the apocalypse happen so people can go to heaven. And they'll be happy. And Dean's like, no, people deserve to have a choice. And yeah, like I said, my man Dean's is always right. So I agree with him there. Anyways, they find Joshua. They go to, like, the garden, and it can either look whatever you want. It ends up looking like a botanical garden for them, which I found funny. Anyways, in this also thing, Sam sees, like, so when you go to heaven, before you go to your, like, little heaven, because, like, heaven is, like, you each have, like, your own little universe where your perfect ideal heaven is like. Anyways, Sam's best moments, memory lane, is everything with his family, versus Dean is everything with his family. And we can just talk about how annoying Sam is, and how, like, his best moments are without his family. Like, ugh, Sam, you're just... I'm sorry. You see why I hate Sam? Sam sucks, okay? Full on. Anyways, then they go see Joshua. Joshua's like, look, guys already resurrected Castiel. He's been more involved than he's been in, like, centuries. So, yeah, he's not coming back, guys. This is all on you. You guys gotta stop the apocalypse. And then, like, Sam and Dean get pissed. Dean gets so pissed that he ends up dropping the amulet in a wastebasket. So, remember that Dean gets rid of the amulet. It's a definite detail that will be coming up, in season 11. Remember that. I know, 6 seasons later. So then we get episode 17. So in this episode, we see that Dean is just fed up with everything going on. He decides to say yes to Michael in this episode, and he even says goodbye to Lisa and Ben in this episode. Episode 18, right as he's about to say yes to Michael, Cass beats him up, and it's like, I rebelled for this! Oh, iconic line. An iconic moment of Destio. I love it when he beats him up. So they end up like trapping Dean in like Bobby's bunker. Anyways, turns out that Zachariah found another loophole, resurrects their brother Adam. Remember I told you about Adam? Remember he was a ghoul, so he doesn't even know he has brothers until like he gets resurrected. They tell him you have brothers, and they like don't trust your brothers. Anyways, Dean, when he finds out that his brother's resurrected, so gonna say yes to Michael. He's like, wait, no, I'm gonna say yes to Michael. Anyways, they go. Sam goes to like where they're keeping Adam. Eventually, they all decide not to say yes to any vessel, and they're running away, but then Adam gets trapped with Zachariah, and he does not escape, which is just a really roundabout way of saying that Adam's gonna be Michael's vessel. And then we get episode 19. Okay, so episode 19, what happens is that they get kind of checked into this like hotel like with all these gods, including Loki. It turns out to be Gabriel. Gabriel ends up deciding to help the brothers here after like their whole like episode 8 fiasco. Anyways, Gabriel ends up dying through Lucifer because Lucifer comes and finds out that all these guards are here trying to kill Sam and Dean. He's like, yo, I can't let that happen because I need this apocalypse to happen. Gabriel and Lucifer get into it, but anyways, before he dies, he makes this porno video for Sam and Dean. And no, it's not like that. It's just more like along him saying, look, there's this, he's just a secret way for him to show Sam and Dean, like, look, you guys can't kill Lucifer, but what you guys can do is use the rings, like Famine and War's ring, which they got. They got War's ring in episode 2, Famine's ring in episode 14, and so you can get those rings, and plus, the other 2 horsemen, because there's a total of 4 horsemen's rings, Pestilence and Death, and use those rings to lock Lucifer back in his cage. So now they have to look for the rings and lock Lucifer back in this cage. So then we get episode 20. Crowley tracks down the brothers. The brothers are pissed because they're like, they thought that getting the cold was a trap. He's like, how was I supposed to know the cold wasn't going to work? I really thought the cold was going to work. So they ended up using Crowley to get the other rings, including Death. Crowley makes a deal with Bobby. He ends up kissing Bobby in this episode, which I found hilarious because that's how you make a deal with a crossroads demon. And the deal includes getting Death's location while also fixing Bobby's legs, no longer being crippled. Remember that? So now he has Bobby's soul, though. So in exchange for every deal, you have to exchange your soul. He gets Death's location. Also, they fight Pestilence here. They get the 3rd ring. So all they need is Death's ring. So pretty much Death is in Chicago, and Death talks to Dean. He's like, look, Lucifer's got me binded here. He's making me kill all these people, and the Croton virus is what I'm here. And I'm gonna give you my ring because I don't want to be binded to this, like, he calls it a temper tantrum. And he's like, I don't want to be binded to this guy, so I'm gonna give it to you, but it's a loan. Remember that. It is a loan. And so we will definitely be seeing this version of Death again, so remember him. I love this version of Death. Then we get episode 21. Oh, my apologies. This is where they fight Pestilence, not episode 20. This is where they fight Pestilence. This is where they win. They end up stopping the Croton virus here before it happens. And this is where Sam gets the idea to, so everything I said about Dean meeting with Death, that's all episode 21. The deal with Bobby, that was all episode 20. Anyway, so episode 21, another last thing of episode 21, Sam decides to say yes to Lucifer so he can take control of the vessel and jump into it. Dean doesn't want to do it, but eventually up to episode 22, the final episode of season 5, he says, all right, Sam, let's do it your way. Let's trap Lucifer, get in his vessel, say yes to him. And guess what, guys? Sam says yes to Lucifer in Detroit 6 months later Wow, full circle, y'all. Full circle, y'all. Anyways, Sam's about to jump in, and he doesn't. Lucifer overtakes the vessel, and he's like, sorry, Sammy boy. Anyways, everyone's defeated. They think the apocalypse is going to happen, and, you know, and they think that now that Adam said yes and is using Michael as Michael's vessel, the apocalypse is going to happen. It's supposed to happen in Lawrence, because that's where it all started. Anyways, Dean decides to make one last Hail Mary. And in this episode, the narrator begins with Chuck, and he narrates the story of the Impala. He narrates how John came to be with the Impala. He narrates all the stuff that Sam and Dean did to the Impala, like putting Legos into the air conditioning, getting an army man stuck in the ashtray. Anyways, Lucifer is beating up Dean when Dean pulls that Hail Mary. He also kills Kaz. He's beating up Dean, and he's making Sam watch, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna make him watch because you can keep people in a room in your mind and lock them up. But Lucifer wants Sam to watch this because he's pissed right now because, like, they end up, like, trolling Michael, and he's like, no one messes with Michael but me. Which is, I'm just like, anyways, so then he's beating up Dean, and then Dean's like, I can take it, Sam. And then Sam, like, it just clicks in him as soon as he's beating up Dean in front of the Impala, and he sees a little army man, and he stops and jumps into the cage. And so Dean, because he made a promise to Sam earlier, goes looking for Lisa and Ben, starts a normal life, a very suburban life, and then Sam, we actually see, not even 2 seconds after they're having like a family dinner, Sam staring outside the window and looking at Dean. Fun fact of season 5, this was actually supposed to be the last and final season of Supernatural. It was not supposed to continue after this. This was going to be it. But CW wanted it to continue. As much as I love some Supernatural episodes, I think that the writing has declined since season 5, especially when we get to, I believe it's season 10, where I'm just like, oh. But other than that, thank you for watching Resident Nerdy Girl channel. Season 6 and Season 7 recap should definitely be up very soon, as well as Season 8 and 9. 10 and 11 hopefully will be up by, 10, 11, and 12 and 13 hopefully will be up all by Monday at the latest. And then that is my goal. That is what I'm trying to do. Again, thank you for watching. Subscribe, watch the other recaps, look at my other videos. See y'all next time on your Resident Nerdy Girl channel.